Well, a lot of pluses throughout the season with this group, and so this obviously isn't one of them. And just really feel awful for our guys. Just senior day. I've not been on the wrong end of senior day very often, and so this is really a tough one. I just thought we were battling uphill the entire night, start of the half, both halves. Just didn't can't come out and handle things very well, and then kind of turned up the intensity late in both halves. But for them to lead 31 minutes of the game, they obviously shot 62% around the rim, and that's an issue. And you combine that with our 42% around the rim, we knew the 3-point line wasn't where we were going to win it. And so thought we did a good job defending the arc, but when you lose a turnover battle and you allow those guys to make 62% around the rim, it's usually going to be a long night, and unfortunately it was for us.
Was there anything you could see that you think attributed to the slow starts in both halves?
Yeah, not necessarily the slow starts. I think you kind of get adjusted to how somebody's defending you, and they were obviously plugging pretty heavy. And, I think at that first media we shot 4 threes and we were 0 for 4. And so you could see guys kind of pressing a little bit and wondering like where the shot's going to come from. We had to be able to loosen some of that up. But I thought, again, defense is how you win games. Offense will tell you the margin. We knew that offensively there may not really be a flow, just with guys just struggling to make threes, especially that's been the case in our last 4 basketball games. But I just thought defensively it just wasn't what it needed to be. And we made strides. Turn around, you take a lead. AJ and Harlan were able to make a three to kind of loosen it up a little bit, and we were able to make a couple of threes there, and I thought that helped. But we can't let our shots dictate just where we are defensively. It's just not who we've been. And again, you can't be negative on the turnover margin. And I just again, it's a 3-point game. You give Keyston Willis, Tyshawn Archie, they make the threes, and then we have back-to-back turnovers, and you can just kind of feel the heat a little bit. And I just thought we also were thinking about relying on officials way too much, just sticking our head down, trying to get in there and make plays. And we needed to be way more solid in just what we were doing.
Coach, senior class, collection of a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Guys coming back for one more year, and guys, coming into this program fresh to spend their final year with the Shocks. What do these guys mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it would hard to be say that in just a sound clip, but Mate wasn't recognized today simply because we are filing a waiver. Quincy Ballard can return, and he's got another year, but we were so far. There was some miscommunication there, and so because of all of his family and everybody paying for tickets from New York, we chose to honor him. But he has another year, and then you have the 3 guys who came in. You have Zane, Justin, AJ, and they've been able to have contributions. And then 4 of those guys who were returning, Harlan, Xavier, Bijan, and Ronnie. It's I mean, I was pretty emotional just addressing all of those guys yesterday, and just Xavier, from the first time I met with the team, he's been all in. Just really proud of Bijan's growth. I've known Harlan since the 10th grade, and just the man he is, you're just really proud of him. And then, I mean, Ronnie did some things this year in regards to addressing the team that I'll tell, I'll tell the story 10 years from now. I mean, he was kind of the catalyst behind 1 and 7, and addressing the team and making this switch. And so, I mean, there's a lot of pluses. Again, I just feel awful that we weren't able to handle what we needed to tonight in order for those guys to have a good memory. But, excited about Thursday because you're going to end up playing UTSA, South Florida, or Tulsa for the third time. And so we should be pretty prepared.
You mentioned just like the defense, especially the second half. Was it a lot? Was it just like the pick and roll coverage, just botching that a lot, or what?
It's a combination. I mean, if you look, some of it was just Ronnie and Quincy Ballard off of some veer switches. Like, I mean, we have Keyston Willis at the rim right there in front of it, and we have somebody just leave the ball to give him a 3-foot shot. Then you had the side pick and roll issues, one with Harlan and then another one with Xavier. And then you had just not being able to get through on simple layups. You know, Tyson Archie being in that right corner, coming back to his left hand, getting that, and thought they got that multiple times. They got one in the first half on Corey, got one in the second half off of Xavier. And so I just thought it wasn't like one specific action. It's a variety of things. It just wasn't. And then, you know, you give those guys credit. I mean, they were pretty slithery around Quincy Ballard, who's usually does a good job of protecting the rim, but it wasn't the case tonight. What did Quincy finish with? 0 block shots. So it's really rare for him.
Coach, how important is that this fresh start of having conference play starting, or not, the conference tournament starting new again?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps. Like, I mean, everybody's excited about it. It's a clean slate. Everybody understands what's in front of them and the prize that's available. You know, if you'll approach this the right way and get an opportunity to win. So, it is pretty exciting. I mean, we need to be able to turn around pretty quickly here, get this one out of our system. We've been going for quite a while now. You know, having left last Sunday in order to make the Texas tour to North Texas and Rice, and then coming back, and then again this was a 1-day prep, and just didn't do the things. But I do think we'll have fresh minds, fresh bodies for Thursday, and you need them because in order to win 4 games in 4 days, you're going to have that.
Coach, what are the confidence levels like for this group heading in the conference tournament, knowing that you've made all the teams in this league sweat?
Yeah, I mean, good. You know, I mean, 7 of your last 10, you've been able to win, and then you know at North Texas was a 2-point game, and not that tonight we just didn't play well, and so we can address those issues. But you know, UAB was a turnover issue. We were just -8. Tonight's a -4. You know, the other night was North Texas was a -5 on the glass. I mean, I go back to when we win the rebound margin and the turnover margin, we're 10-0. You know, I mean, we've been able to win games without winning both of those categories. We've even won a game where we lost both of those categories. But it is a situation where we're mindful about the things we need to do. But I do think that we were kind of pressing a little bit because some outside shots weren't falling. But we again, you win games defensively. Offense tells you by how much the margin is. We just need to make sure that we don't hang our heads when shots aren't going our way.
Coach just talked about defending the home court, especially in conference play. 4 and 5, is it disappointing, frustrating, or I guess just what comes to your mind when you see that mark?
Yeah, I didn't know that. You know, to be honest with you, I don't really keep track of records. But I know that, you know, that South Florida game here, I know our first home game, that was really disappointing. And, you know, and then we turn around, come back, and able to get a Charlotte game. And then I just thought that, you know, for the most part, there are things that we need to be able to be better at moving forward. And you need a winning record at home, especially in conference. So 4 and 5, we had, you know, now that you say that, I'm just thinking out loud. So we were 4 and 5 on the road, 4 and 5 at home. You got to be better, especially in your home games. But you know, you kind of go back in the off season and really pay attention to the things that put you in this position. But again, I thought we've been competitive and battled this whole time, minus the South Florida game.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.
Coach,